3 months ago, I started to take debt very, very seriously. And I've been in debt for multiple years, a long time. It's been crushing me for years. And it started out small, but because I didn't change my behavior, my attitude towards money, it just spiraled. I'd pay a bit off and then it'll come back on again because I hadn't learned the actual mechanisms and the discipline around credit. And also around food, because if you watched me before, you'll know that food or buying of food is a very, very big part of what this debt is. And I haven't learned those behaviors. It's coming on now, we're getting better, but that's where this debt is from. But the last 3 months, I've been following the Dave Ramsey baby step method and just common sense, just hard work, like brute force, blunt instrument type of stuff, just get the job done. So I've got myself a third job. I've got a main job, 2 side jobs. I've been cutting down expenses and doing loads of overtime at my main job as well. So the first month was able to get the emergency fund. So £1,000 in the bank, that's in a savings account. It's not a super like a proper savings account. It's got 4% on it, which gives me about a few quid each month. Great, just leave it in there. I've not touched it. Month 2, we did get a consolidation loan along the way. As I said, I got about £14,000 in debt. That only took care of about £10,000. So last month, we had a pretty good month. We paid £1,000 into that consolidation loan, and that took a load of the interest off it, a massive chunk of the interest. So I won't be paying back the interest because I'll be paying so much into it, it just cancels it out. But as I said, not all of my debt was captured in that consolidation loan. And we'll talk about what I did this month and a big thing that I completely forgot about with the Dave Ramsey baby steps. So this was the best financial month I've ever had, which is kind of really crazy to say, and also a little bit like, oh, maybe people will think, well, you've not actually earned that much money. But for me, on minimum wage jobs, I've just worked my ass off to get this money. So with my main job, with all the overtime, and there was a minimum wage increase in April as well, so that helps a little bit. So I got 2,048 in my main job, and my 2 side jobs, cleaning jobs, one was 498 and one was 436 because they're taxed slightly differently. That brings me to just under £3,000. I've seen people earn they'll say they earn £3,000, £5,000. And I was like, how? How do you do that? And it's really, really cool to think, but I had to literally work every hour of every day to accomplish this. So it wasn't time friendly, but we got the job done. So the debt outside of the consolidation loan, we'll break it down quickly, and we did something slightly different. I've not paid into the consolidation loan this month because I forgot a crucial part, which is the snowball method. Dave Ramsey uses the snowball method, which is smallest debt first, regardless of interest. The avalanche method is the antithesis of it. So you pay the largest interest first, no matter how big the debt is, and you tackle that because mathematically you'll be paying less over time, which makes perfect sense. And a lot of people, you have 2 different camps. They'll be for the snowball, they'll be for the avalanche. Both are valid. The reason he uses the snowball is because of the mental factor, because you might have, say, like a £10,000 or dollar debt, but then you've got like a couple like 300, 500. You could whack those 300, 500 out probably in a month each, right? So you mentally, you paid off this and you paid off that. Then you take off the minimum that you would have been paying for those other debts, and then you can apply it to the next debt and you just ascend, right? Makes sense. And that's also what the emergency fund does. It's a mental buffer. It's a financial buffer, but it also helps you mentally because it takes the pressure off a little bit. And that's what it's done for me. So on Monzo, which is a bank, if you're not familiar, I think it's a great bank. It's an online bank. I had Monzo Flex, which I had 1,196.82 left on it. And I've also got a Monzo loan, which was ironically another consolidation loan from a couple years ago, which still hasn't been paid off, which not much of it's come off. I think I did start with around 4,000. I borrowed 4,000, but with the interest, I've still got £3,490 left. When I had financial difficulty, and this is one of the great things about Monzo, they really helped me out and they put me in an agreement. It does affect your credit score a little bit, but it didn't actually affect mine that much. But your interest is frozen and you can sort of relax on the payments a little bit. You can either make a repayment plan or just completely stop it. But your loan or your debt will be defaulted after 6 months, which you do not want to happen. I'm not a financial expert. It can ruin, well, will ruin your credit score and your history for years. And just as a responsible human, speaking from myself now, I do not want to just have that written off because of just I respect myself too much. And I borrowed the money, I've got to pay it back. And I had a few people say, oh, just let it default then. Or there'll be this like little trick to get around it, you won't have to pay it back. No, it's responsibility, you have to pay it back. That's how I see it. So with this record month, I've now paid off the Monzo Flex entirely. So 1,196.82. So that's all gone. That is all gone. And now we're paying back £100 a month starting next month on the loan. And I wanted to start this up because next month is when it would default. So I had to start paying back something, and I kind of explained to them about what I'm doing, and they kind of disagreed because they did think that £100 was a bit low, but we're doing that. And I explained that my next debt, because it's the next highest one, I've got a debt from DFS. For my lovely sofa behind me, it was quite expensive. I should not have got it. But if you remember from my early videos, I had a chair that was falling apart. It was giving me terrible backache. I had to get something. I probably shouldn't have got something that nice, but I did. And what do so been paying £34 a month. There's no interest on it. I've got 1,328.40. There's still overtime. So I did overtime yesterday and Saturday. Did some overtime the previous week as well. So we should be able to nearly, if not fully, pay that off next month. I'm going to do my damnedest to pay that off next month. That's the next biggest one. And then in July, we can start tackling that Monzo loan. And each one of these, I'll be paying the minimum for my consolidation loan, which actually dropped, by the way, because of that £1,000 we put into it, has now reduced to 271 from 302.99. So everything is going really, really well. It's surreal actually, because I've got the numbers. I keep looking over. I've got the numbers. They're all clear. Everything makes sense. We're on track. I've got such a strong plan. It's still going to take a while, and that's where the side hustle thing with the reselling comes in. I set aside £50 for that, and that's starting next week or this weekend, because I've got no overtime next weekend, which is kind of like a relief actually, because every time it happens, I feel like I have to do it because it's like easy money. But because I can't do it, you know, it's a bit of a relief. So we should be back onto the consolidation loan, hitting it hard in August, which is, it's still like icks me a little bit. It's like, oh, August, but we're on the plan, we're on the track. It took me a while to build up this debt. It's going to take me a while to pay it off. That's just what it is. We're going to do everything we can to shorten that journey, but it is what it is, right? So I might have miscalculated a little bit, because I said last month that we was down to now around 13,000. But actually, if you add that up, it's £13,898.15. So we're still at 14,000. That's okay. I must have messed up somewhere in one of my earlier debt videos, but that's okay. I'm not mad about it. I'm not like disappointed, because it's still, I think you can deal with things better when you have a concrete, clear plan. Like, it doesn't matter now. It's like we're already making progress. So fantastic month, really, really strong. It'll be similar next month, or at least the end of this month, I mean, because now in May, which is crazy to think about. It feels like it was only Christmas a few weeks ago. But yeah, really, really strong.